Hello there. My name's Draco. Thanks for tuning in to the Last Spoonbender channel here on YouTube. Let's talk playing cards. These are smoke and mirrors. These were just released previous Friday. Today is Monday. They were just put out. The smoke and mirrors. I am so excited to talk about these decks today. If you don't know about these decks, there is so much history to just these two card boxes right here, these two decks in general. And so I want to share a little bit of that with you today. I want to show you the cards, and then we're going to do a little bit of a review. I was going to do this initially as an unboxing, and I decided I really just wanted to open up the cards and feel them, and then I will show you. So here we are. So what are the Smoke and Mirrors playing cards? Well, when I was performing magic, and I should tell you, I've been performing magic, especially I specialize in close-up magic. And I've been doing this for a little over 35 years of my life. Since I was 5 years old, it's been a deep part of who I am. I've really never left the house without a deck of playing cards, despite the fact that I wouldn't really call myself like a cardistry kind of a guy. In fact, words like cardistry didn't even exist when I was really doing a lot of my magic, including performing at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Cardistry didn't come around until just after I left Las Vegas, and it started to really build. And we can thank that. We can give thanks to Dan and Dave Buck for making that happen. And they can give thanks to Brian Tudor and Joey Burton for making that happen. Allow me to explain. So back in about 2000, 2001, there wasn't a lot of card flourishing going on. And if there was, it was pressure fans and classic card slides that you've seen, for many, many years even before that. And then in about 2001, Brian Tudor put out a 3-volume set called Show Off. Brian Tudor Show Off, I believe it was called. And in that, he showed a variation on the Charlier cut called the Revolution. He also showed something called Sybil. And that was the first time you saw that kind of cardistry for sake of just being beautiful manipulation of cards outside of card fans, outside of card productions, that sort of thing. And Dan and Dave Buck saw this, and they got really inspired, and they also had the skill, the ability with a deck of cards. And so a little while later, they put out a VHS set in 2001, 2002 that was called Pasteboard Animations. And they sold these out of their backpacks at conventions. $25 a piece. They'd sign them for you. I have one sitting right here. This is it. This is the original. This comes from 2002. It says so right there. And you can see this is just about 20, 25 minutes of them explaining some of the basics from cardistry. Revolution, the Leno cut, Sybil, Madonna, Genesis, Madonna 2. So many different beautiful, very, very challenging and difficult, requiring great dexterity card slides. On the back, the next generation of magic says David Blaine. Right? Also down below from R. Paul Wilson. 2 guys with an incredible ability to animate a deck of cards. Anyone looking for a fresh outlook on flourish should check this out. So that's Pasteboard Animations. Now, when I was 21 and performing in Las Vegas, and I went and hung out at the Riviera at that time, late night after the convention, and a group of magicians were gathered around these 2 twins, these 2 young men. They didn't put out a lot of energy outward, much like you've seen by David Blaine, but they had unbelievable moves with cards in their hands. The cards were flying, and I saw one of them hacky sack half of the deck right back up into the air, and it was truly stunning. I mean, even us magicians in Las Vegas were bewildered by what they were able to do, and I made sure to pick one up. They're signed by both Dan and Dave in 2002. Now, back then, you had casino cards. Jerry's Nuggets were very, very popular. You had Bicycle, you had B, and then you had tally hos, but you didn't have much else in the way of cardistry type designer decks. We hadn't reached that time yet where the decks could be just fully designed on a computer and then mass produced. There was no Theory 11. There was no illusionist.com at that time. It was hard to come by. Anything had to pretty much come out of the United States Playing Card Company. So Dan and Dave decided they wanted their own deck. They wanted their own deck. And so they printed up one black, one white, and they called them Smoke and Mirrors. And that's what we have here. And the first three versions of Smoke and Mirrors that they put out within just a few months of each other back in 2008 were all black and white, Smoke and Mirrors. And that's what we have here. Again, Smoke and Mirrors, in white and black. The white being the smoke, the black being the mirrors. These are throwbacks to those original back designs that they had. So the first three versions were black and white. The fourth version that came out in March of the following year, 2009, was green. After that, I think in November, you had a blue deck. That was version 5. Version 6 was the red deck, or the rouge. That's this one here. Version 7, they blew everyone's mind and they put out a signature 6-pack. A signature 6-pack of 6 different colors that looked spectacular. Super nice. Now, I wasn't doing any cardistry at the time, and so I didn't bother getting any of those. I really wish I would have, looking back. The most iconic decks for cardistry in the world, honestly, are Smoke and Mirrors. The first cards to start going over a couple $100 on eBay beyond Jerry's Nuggets were Smoke and Mirrors. So they're very iconic. Dan and Dave really took cardistry and turned it to what it is today, where it's beautiful. They really saw the magic of how video and cardistry would look. And here we are on YouTube where cardistry looks amazing. So those were version 7, was that 6-pack. Then they put out a very limited edition gold version that came out that was special reserve. And then they also put out, I think in 2001, last year, they put out a few more colors and called it version 8. Now, they haven't put out the black and whites with this design, back design, in almost 10 years. So I'm really excited to see these and open them up and show you as well. Again, so iconic, such a major important thing. These were just released 3 days ago. So they did an outstanding job on basic shipping to get this shipped out only in 3 days. The only thing I was waiting for was the weekend. I bought 6 of them. I bought 3 of each. And I also, this, by the way, this bronze one here, this is a bronze version 8. So I'll show you that one too. So let's get into these two next, but we've got to dive into the Smoke and Mirrors, right? Let's dive into the Smoke and Mirrors. So here's the card box. I know it's bright, but I'm going to keep it at an angle so that you can see. Make sure we're turning. You can see Dan and Dave. If you can't read that because of the glare, it does say Dan and Dave, illustrated by Cy Scott. And then over on the other side it does say the Dan and Dave Playing Card Company, Hollywood, California. If you can see, it says Smoke right across the middle. And then we've got this side too. So if we open up the Smoke cards, beautiful faces, bright red cards right off the bat. We do have what looks like a double backer here. We also have a advertisement card for Dan and Dave. My name being Draco, I love that there's a D monogrammed on the back of these cards. For me, that's a big win. Not only that, but in my opinion, they are some of the nicest cards that I have ever used. Just the bright, vivid nature of these red cards. And then minimal Very minimal designs on the court cards. So clean and crisp. This is exactly what I love. I don't want you to have to use a lot of imagination to see, you know, the cards when I'm working with them. I just want you to be able to see them right away. Big, bold pips that show you the suits. These cards are great. Over on this end, of course, we have the one intricate card, the very detailed, intricate card. That's your Ace of Spades. There's so much in that image. And then their Joker image is the twins, the twin magicians, interconnected, Dan and Dave, the double D, right there. These are beautiful cards. They're a dream to hold. They move right out of the box. We've got a really nice spring to them. This is their proprietary blend. This is their proprietary blend of cardstock. The United States Playing Card Company literally had to reinvent and make a brand new printing press for them to be able to print smoke and mirrors cards onto. They're that specific. We're talking about paper that's kept in a humidifier to keep it just as perfect as it can be prior to printing. So these cards are fantastic. I couldn't ask for anything more. I love black and white cards. I'm a huge fan of sort of that monotone color, beautiful black and whites through here. Those are the smoke cards. Now we're going to move into the mirrors, the smoke and mirrors. Now again, when they came up with smoke and mirrors, that was just something that they came in off with on the fly, and I don't believe it was Dan and Dave. I believe it was their manager who came up with that term, just said, use this, and they went with it. I also want to point out, by the way, these boxes are very glossy. There's a beautiful gloss the entire way around the box. They're shiny. You just couldn't ask for more. I will keep one of each of these colors of my own sealed for collection's sake, but then I will be using all of the others. Again, bringing the cards out here. So double backer. For those of you that know a little bit about card magic, then you know what that could be used for. The advertisement card right on the face, Dan and Dave Buck. Beautiful. And then the card faces are all going to be the same. So you've got the black and white twins. The jokers look the same. The jokers are twin cards. And then you will have all of the other cards exactly the same with both decks. Look how just nicely that spreads, and these are like silk, requiring no effort whatsoever. Just beautiful cards. Love them. So grateful. Thanks, Dan and Dave. I want to make clear, just because I'm thanking Dan and Dave for making these decks, they're not sponsoring this video. Now, if Dan and Dave are out there watching, and they want to sponsor me in future videos, I would love to show off their decks and do reviews on those and unboxings as well. So if they happen to be watching these, I would love to do that. So contact me if you're seeing this. Also, while you guys are watching it, please remember to subscribe to my channel. I don't know why, but the last couple of years I put out a little bit of videos here and there, and I still just very few subscribers. I think I only have less than 40 subscribers, and I would love to make that 100 or 1,000 here soon. So that way I can keep putting out videos for you guys. So like, subscribe, share the video with your friends and ask them to subscribe. And let's see if we can get these subscription numbers up. If you're cool with that, awesome. Hit that like button and leave a comment down below and tell me you're in. I will definitely appreciate you. So let's go into these two decks now. One of the nicest decks, as well as this version 6. This is the red. Now, when they came out with the version 8 red, it was much more fire engine red. This is one of my favorite colors, more like a candy apple red. It does say up at the top, Smoke and Mirrors version 6 or V6. But otherwise, just like what you would be used to A little bit different back design, a little cleaner back design on these. So the back design on a version 6 Rouge looks like that, again with the D's monogrammed. Love it. And then a very, very clean through the court card. So nice. Now the court cards here have a little bit of silver, and then the Joker card on these is also Rouge. They match the Jokers to the back of the deck, and then they also match the court cards to the back of the deck as well. So again, it's just very clean and crisp. Dan and Dave are very detail oriented. It's so obvious, and the magic is in the details, but so is the devil, and so it's a difficult balance that they play in terms of being able to figure out exactly what they want and making it perfect. And I love the products that they've been putting out as a result. These cards, even after a few years and being open and being used, are still in wonderful shape. They're strong. They're workhorse type cards. And then finally, guys, we're going to get into this one. And this is a version 8. It doesn't say so. Instead, on the top, it says Aristocrat, Poker Aristocrat. But these are the bronze smoke and mirrors. Again, a little more intricate back design. I spread these out. Now you also get the double backer with this one. So you get the double backer with both, which I think is great. There's so much you can do with a double back card. Very important. And then with this one, you get a blank card. So that allows you to do some really fun things too. I love using easy gimmicks to create incredible moments of magic with a deck of playing cards. The bronze... See, to me, honestly, they call it bronze, but I think it looks more like a gold. I think it's fantastic. That is the Joker card there. And then the court cards, again, your King of Diamonds. Beautiful, bright images that just match the cards. Let's do the King of Spades. And let's do the King and Queen of Hearts so you can see the acupuncturist. He loves acupuncture so much, he's actually stabbed himself through his own skull. And so there you have it, guys. That is a little history lesson on smoke and mirrors, along with a review of the newly released Smoke and Mirrors Black and White editions, once again out for a very short period of time. You can go to www.dananddave.com if you want to see what other decks they have available. From time to time, they do have other decks available. I also want to say with these, they came out with 3 different versions of these. You could order them as the standard deck, which is how I prefer it. I prefer a standard tuck box. I prefer just standard deck. Now, for collectors, they do have the deluxe version. The deluxe version is an oversized, extra wide case that is magnetic and opens through the middle to pull the cards out. It's really interesting, a lot of fun. Personally, for me, I don't need it. I like cards to be open. I like to be able to use my cards because I buy my cards to perform magic for the people that I love and care about and who want to pay me great money at www.dracoalexander.com to see me perform my magic. So yeah, they also put out a signature version. So the deck box that is signed by Dan and Dave. Now, in my opinion, I don't need that anymore. I've got the best signature I could have, right on the very original, on just their very first project ever when they put out Pasteboard animations. So thanks all for sticking around. I hope you have an amazing rest of your night. Keep the magic alive. Keep performing for people as often as you can. Build your skills, build your technique, and take a moment to figure out who you are as a magician. What does it mean in your world to be a magician? What is that like? In a world of magic, there are so many possibilities, and there's only one person that can be you. One person that can be you. What does your magic look like? And how do you want to bring that to the audience? And maybe you don't. Maybe you want these cards for gaming. Awesome. Maybe you want these cards just for cardistry. That's incredible too. Whatever it is for you, whatever they mean for you, I love the Smoke and Mirrors cards. I never thought I would be the guy writing a review on Smoke and Mirrors cards. I avoided them and resisted them the first time they came out. Said I don't need to be part of this whole cardistry rave and rage and popularity. I didn't like it. And now I look at it and I think there's more than enough rooms in the House of Magic, as Eugene would say, to allow at least one big, beautiful room with a bumpin' DJ and some awesome cardistry. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below if you liked this video. Leave a comment below if you have Smoke and Mirrors decks of your own and which ones you have, which versions and which colors. Let me know. Let's talk about it. And thanks for tuning in. Bye.